Hey, welcome to our show. Our show's called Goose in the Wild. I think we're on about our 16th or 17th show, I think, Bryce.
It sounds about right. Sure feels like it.
I know. Boy, and they've been fun, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Hey, we're up here on the East Bench, guys, and we're trying to give some local people some recognition. I think that's what we're all about. And, you know, I usually try to give you the straight stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And I don't want to pull the wool over anybody's eyes.
Okay.
But today I just can't help it, Bryce. Take a look at this.
That's a sheep.
And look at this cute little gal. What's her name?
Jessica.
Jessica? Yeah.
Jessica's not afraid of sheep, is
No,
she?
she's doing great. So if you haven't guessed what our show is about today, people, it's about sheep and anything to do with the sheep. And one of my good buddies here, he's going to come in now. We're going to introduce you to our first guest, and we've got several here today. That's my buddy Johnny Olsen.
How you doing, Goose?
Welcome, man.
It's good to be
Appreciate
here.
you. John's helped me with our Pony League team a couple of years, assistant coach and all that. And I thought we'd do a show with the Olsen guys up here on sheep and a little bit to do with the covered wagons, right?
You bet.
Now, I noticed, oh, that right there, the
Yeah.
other sheep in the trailer is blatting. Now, why is that?
Well, sheep don't like to be alone, Goose. They like to be in a crowd. And that sheep's in that trailer all alone, and it's calling out to this sheep, see if it can find out where it's at. It says, bring that friend of mine back over here.
Oh, so that's why we see sheep in a flock usually?
You bet. If you get one sheep headed a direction, then all the sheep will follow along with it, and they'll just kind of go right wherever the lead one's taking them.
Oh. Now, what's the difference between sheep and goats? I've always wondered that.
Well, they're basically two completely different animals. They're grown a lot of times for the same product, the meat and the wool, or in the goat's case, the fur. They like to spin a lot of the goat hair, and so there's quite a bit of difference between the two.
We're going to slip right into the shed now, and our next guest is Matt Jarvis, and he's going to show us how he shears a sheep. So let's follow me right in the shed now. Bryce?
Oh, there it is.
Is this something else?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, Matt. Welcome to our show, guy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We'll show the people a little bit about sheep shearing.
Alrighty.
So it keeps all the skin tight so that he doesn't end up cutting the skin. Those are pretty sharp shears that he's got right there. So he'll keep moving the animal around in different areas, different directions, and hold. You can see him pulling the skin right there to keep it tight.
Okay.
And at the same time, he's trying to keep the lamb off balance so it doesn't end up kicking or trying to get away. And so if you just watch, there's a lot of technique in the way you hold the animal. He's got it tucked nice and tight up between his knees. Every time he takes a turn, he tries to do it with the most efficiency and to keep everything in proper balance.
And I noticed when he got down around the tender areas, he was a little more delicate.
You got to be real careful when you get around the tender areas.
Now, when he happens to cut the skin, do you have an ointment or an antiseptic you put on the animal?
There's a lot of different products out there that you can use. We like to use what we call as Wonder Dust, which is more along the lines of a powder. It'll dry the cut out right quick, and it's got a lot of good medication in it to keep it from getting infected, and that seems to work pretty good.
And that's called Wonder Dust?
Wonder Dust.
Okay. Okay, Johnny, so how long does it take a real good shearer to do a typical sheep?
Well, there's not very many that are better than Matt, so you can kind of measure against the way he's doing it, but there's guys that can make a living shearing sheep that'll shear 80 head per day.
Oh, really, Bryce?
80 sheep a day? That's got to be an Olympic record.
Now, my next question is, Johnny, why do we even have to shear a sheep?
Well, two reasons. One is that's one of the main products that you get from sheep is the wool. And that'll get spun into yarn or made into carpet or a lot of different products. And the other reason is it gets hot. And everybody needs a haircut every once in a while. And so once a year we'll give them a full-fledged haircut, shear it all off, put the wool to use, turn them loose and let them go for another year before they get sheared again.
Now, did you notice that? Modern technology, Matt's cell phone flopped out of his pocket. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, Lamb might be trying to make a call or something.
Oh, a call. What do you think of that, Bryce? Make a call.
Now, there you go, Goose. That's what the sheep looks like after you get all the wool off of it. We've not had this lamb on any kind of real strong feed. He's been mostly on pasture. We'll bring him in, get him on some corn and some oats and fatten him up, and he'll make a real good set of lamb chops.
Beautiful.
It is trying to make a call, isn't it?
Yes, he is. All right. Well,
Is he trying to call you?
I'm not going to touch that one.
that sounds like Bryce Walker, don't it?
Yeah.
Is he trying to call it you? E-W-E?
Oh,
Oh, all right.
I think he is. Or she is. Hey, now it's feeling really happy. It wants to get out there and prance around. It's feeling light, cool. Don't you feel that way when you get a haircut?
I sure do.
Good. Wow, you just had a haircut, didn't you?
That's right, buddy.
Goose, take a look at that right there. That's wool. Take and feel that. You can feel it's got just a little bit of a oily feel to it.
Yeah, and that oily thing, is that the lanolin?
That's the lanolin. We were talking about that earlier.
Let's
Ooh.
get up and close so our folks at home can feel that.
Ooh.
Okay.
So lanolin is found in lotion.
A lot of hand lotions. The shaving cream, can of shaving cream I got at home has got lanolin in it. Different shampoos. Most of the women folks out there will know where lanolin exists.
Women folks, we got a couple of women right here. Uh-oh, that looks like one took off on the run. Well, we're going to take our first break right here, and when we come back, we're going to introduce you to the pro. And that's the guy they call Charlie?
That's the man.
Who's Charlie?
He's my dad.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to get a little words of wisdom from Mr. Olsen.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that remote. All right, John. We told our audience that we'd be going to meet the pro, and that's Dad, right?
He's the man.
Okay, now, what I'm thinking is, I thought he was going to be working on some sheep.
Well, today we've got him working in the shop on a wagon.
On a wagon.
What you working on there, Dad?
That's a chain to hold up part of the weight of the tongue so it don't make the horse's neck sore. The horse's neck hooks to them up there, which is the neck yoke.
So we got a neck yoke right here,
Right.
and they hook the back end up to the double tree, the green piece there.
And the horses pull the wagon and they steer it by being hooked to the neck yoke.
And that chain right there is going to relieve a little bit of the weight of the tongue off the neck of the horses.
Right, so they don't get a sore neck.
Okay. So we want to introduce you to your dad, right?
This is my dad, Norman Olsen, better known around town as Charlie Olsen. Some of you may have seen him from time to time driving around town with what looks like a covered wagon in the back of his pickup. It's kind of become a trademark of his, and as you drive up towards Spanish Fork Canyon on Highway 6, he's got his farm there with plenty of wagons out along the side of the road. It's easy to spot his place.
And I want to know, and I know the audience wants to know, how did you get in this sheep business many years ago? How?
I bought a little bunch of sheep in 1952 after I come home from the Korean War. My older brothers had been in the sheep and been quite successful, and I thought I'd try and do the same thing as they'd done.
And obviously it's turned out to be a real success.
Well, I raised 10 kids, 12 kids on the farm, and I didn't have the farm give to me, and I raised the kids and paid for the farm. And after I got the farm paid for, then I started selling a little bit of it here and there.
Okay. And so how many of your kids are still involved in the sheep business?
4.
Well, there's 4 locally here that still work on Dad's farm here in town, but there's a brother in Hurricane that's still got some sheep and involved, and a brother out in Manila that's got some sheep and still involved, so quite a few of them are still going.
All right, so the sheep's been good to the Olsons,
Yes.
right?
It's been good to us.
Good.
And I've been out of it for a little bit, but my kids have shown some interest in it, and so we've gotten back into the sheep, and kids are showing lambs at the stock shows, and so it's on to 4th generation now. Your dad showed sheep, my dad showed sheep, I showed sheep, and my kids are showing sheep.
Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? A bunch of SH's together.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't slip up there.
How
on
to
any
try
of
to
them.
say that 10 times, right, Bryce? Wow, we might be saying some things we don't want to say.
Yeah.
All right, you mentioned the stock show and your kids. I'm looking at Luke over there. He played for me and did a great job. And so I remember when we was talking out by the trailer, you mentioned boosting a lamb.
Yep.
Can we go over and ask Luke right now what boosting a lamb means?
We can ask him to step in here. with
Okay,
us,
let's
Goose.
have him
That'll
step
work.
in here.
I thought he gave a pretty good
Hey, Goose.
answer a few minutes
Welcome
ago.
to our show.
So
Hi.
he's practiced up.
So, can you tell our audience when we go to a stock show and all that and take the lambs, what boosting a lamb means?
Well, they have the auction for the lambs, and the people that are bidding on the lambs, they bid on the lamb and say it goes for $450, and they say they want to boost the lamb. There's a person that floors all the lambs, and he pays the market value of the lamb, which is 85 cents a pound or so. And then the person that bid on the lamb pays the difference between market value and what they auctioned it off for. And then the lamb goes to the processing, and that's how we get our lamb chops and meat.
Ooh. Now, Johnny, why would we boost a lamb?
Well, there's a lot of kids that want to get involved in the agriculture industry, and it's a method that we can help keep them interested. They get paid a premium price for the lamb, help pay for school, for college, for different things, and that gives the people around town, the banks and the businesses, for example, an opportunity to give a little back to the community, show their support. And it works good both ways. They get a charitable or a promotional deduction on their tax returns, and the young kids get a little extra money in their pocket to help pay for school.
Okay.
So my kids have been able to pay for their own football fees and baseball fees, and Luke's going to some seminars, and he's paying for things himself, and it's giving them an opportunity to learn a little bit about finances and get a little education about finances before they have to go out into the real world.
Great. Now, we're going to get a woman's perspective, because you know how I feel about women. There's nothing greater than women. I have a deep respect for women and what they go through to bring children into the world, put their life on the line. So we're going to have these two gals come in here right now. We got Trish, and she's Johnny's wife. And we got Angela, and she's Matt's wife. Now, tell our viewers what it's like to be married to a sheep guy.
I guess it would depend on the season and how busy they are and how much time they're down at the farm.
That's right. It's a little bit more busy during lambing season. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of busy during summer.
Summer with the farming and
Farming.
that, but it's something they enjoy, so you want to support them on it, so.
So when they come home from the fields, do they smell?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What's
what
the
they-
smell like?
The money smell.
Matt says it's supposed to smell like money.
Oh, like money. Oh,
Yeah.
Charlie says it smells like money. I like that. I like that. Well, is there any qualities that a sheep guy has to have?
I'd say perseverance and
Yeah, I was gonna say
patience.
How does it feel to be a sheep gal?
Well, I grew up raising sheep just as 4-H projects, and it was always a good project for the kids to be involved in and that. And just, you know, you want to support your husband and help him do what you can, so.
And I grew up raising cattle. I married a sheepman, so
Is there any conflict there?
no.
No conflict?
No, my grandpa still claims him.
Still claims him?
Yeah.
All right. Am I wearing this right, John? Is this how, right?
Well, the best way to tell is from the little sticker in the back there, Goose.
Oh, the little sticker.
It goes
okay.
in the back.
All right. Well, we want to be right up here.
You bet.
Okay.
What do you think of his overalls, by the way, there, Johnny?
I was a little bit taken back when he first stepped out of the truck, and I'm used to seeing Goose in ball shorts and ball equipment, and I thought, hey, I might be able to put this guy to work today. We got a load of hay to haul yet.
Oh, wow.
When was the last time you hauled hay, Goose?
Wow. Back in the 60s?
Hey, let's have you turn around and see how that uniform looks on you. Spin around for us. Hey, look at that. He's got the scarf in the back and everything. Styling, buddy.
Styling. Well, your dad had some words of wisdom. What do you want to share?
Well, I think Dad's done a great job. He's got 12 kids. He's raised us all here, and one of the things he used to say quite often was he'd talk to my mom, and he'd say, Mama, you save their souls, and I'll save their hides.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good, isn't it? Now, as you see, Bryce, they talked about the little ones. Can we get a shot of the little ones here? And I can see the one little one. We must be pretty boring today because he's fast asleep. Can you believe that?
You know
Look
how,
at him.
hey, you know how he got to sleep, don't you?
How's that?
Counting, what do they call it?
Oh, counting sheep.
If you have trouble going to sleep, don't count sheep, talk to the shepherd.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good, the shepherd.
That's good.
That's good. Thanks, Charlie.
The good shepherd.
Well, let's go over here to, who we got here, Angela?
Jessica.
Jessica?
Amanda.
Oh, Amanda.
Jessica and Kylie.
Jessica and Kylie. This little guy,
Wyatt.
Wyatt, the guy that's asleep.
That's Kyle.
Kyle, the other
We
guy.
have little Brady.
Little Brady, and the little the gal,
Melinda.
Melinda. All right, and we've already met Luke. Okay, and behind, we got Brady, and then we haven't met the other Matt in our in the Olsen family right here. And then Johnny, who's next to you?
This is Allison.
Allison.
She's trying to get away.
Who does she belong to?
She belongs to Matt.
Matt is your brother.
Yes.
Okay. Good looking bunch here. Good
I'd
looking
say.
bunch. We appreciate you.
It made the show look a lot better.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, let's look at this. We got women, Goose.
Wow. All right. Okay. Boy, I got to be careful so I don't step on a nail here, John.
I think you've stepped on something else already.
Oh,
but
wow.
We won't talk about that.
Okay. Well, another question we need to ask you is, you need to tell the viewers what a range buck is and what all that means.
Well, like we were talking earlier, Goose, there's one aspect of the sheep industry, which is the commercial sheep, and you've all probably seen these big flocks of sheep out on the side of the road. These big flocks are generally consist of mothers that need to be bred, and they need a lot of bucks to take care of breeding that many sheep. There may be 1,000, 5,000 ewes out in a herd. They need a whole bunch of bucks to take care of the breeding. And that's the aspect of the sheep industry that we're in. We raise the bucks that we refer to as range bucks that go out with the range herds, the commercial herds, and take care of all the breeding. We have right here in this corral a bunch of buck lambs that are probably not even 6, 8 months old, and they'll get sold next spring, most of them down in California.
And now, what does a typical range buck, how much money does it bring?
Well, in order to get yourself breaking even, you got to get about $350 a head out of them. Every time we go to a show, we'd like to get upwards of $500, $600, $800, $900 a head.
Oh.
Doesn't happen that way every year, though.
Okay. I didn't know that. Did you, Bryce?
Never heard of a range buck before.
So do they have range ewes?
Yep, the big commercial herds I was telling you about, those are range ewes.
Oh, okay.
And they're generally white face, and we put these Suffolk bucks on them, and the lambs come out little speckled face,
We call that a smut face or speckled face lamb. And because they're crossbreds, they grow quicker. They they get to the market weight a lot sooner, and they just do all around better out on the range.
And what are the 4 breeds of sheep?
4 main breeds in this area are the blackface, Suffolk, and Hampshire. And then the whiteface breeds are Rambouillet and Columbia. And the blackface ones are bred primarily for their meat products, and the whiteface ones are bred primarily for their wool products.
Oh, that makes sense. Now, when I was talking to Lane Shepherd, he said that Spanish Fork is the hub of what?
We like to refer to Spanish Fork as the purebred sheep capital of the world.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey,
Boy,
I can't see you.
you can't see me?
No, it's
Well, let
too
me get
dark.
out here where there's more light.
Whoa, that's too much light.
Holy smoke, I gotta put this hat back on. I don't have as much hair as the Olsen guys do. Oh, that's much better. All right, we've got little Brady here.
Oh, check that out.
He's doing a little mutton busting,
Yeah.
but he's not going too fast. Now, how old is Brady?
How old are you? 4.
4. That's pretty good, man. I'd like to try that sometime, you know?
We're gonna have to get a lot bigger sheep.
Oh, a lot bigger sheep, okay. All right, we're gonna go over to Charlie,
Okay.
and he's got a great old-time story he'd like to share with us.
Okay.
All right.
'Twas a sheep, not a lamb, that strayed away in the parable Jesus told. A grown-up sheep that had gone astray from the 99 in fold. And why for the sheep should we earnestly long, and as earnestly hope and pray? Because there is danger if they go wrong, they will lead the lambs astray. If the lambs are lost, what a terrible cost some sheep will have to pay. That's just a little poem that emphasizes that parents should set a good example so that the children would have a good example to follow.
Very good. Have you got any other stories?
I can give you, recite the 9th Scout Law, which has been a guideline for me most of my life.
Okay, let's hear it.
A scout is thrifty. He does not wantonly destroy property. He works faithfully, wastes nothing, and makes the best of his opportunities. He may work for pay, but must not receive tips for courtesies or good turns.
Very good. Now, once again, it looks like we've lost a sheep. Any idea where Goose went? Can you help me go find him, Charlie? You've probably learned how to find lost sheep, haven't you?
Well, let's go look for him and see.
Alrighty. He
Hey.
does this to me at the end of every show, I think.
Oh, there he is, right out there.
Oh, is he? Alright. Let's go find him. Let's see. He's out here, he said, somewhere. Huh. Not sure. Oh, he's out this way?
He's out this way.
Alright.
Found something for him to ride.
Alright, well, let's see. There's old Highway 6 over there. Maybe he's behind the fence over here. Huh. Can't see him yet. Still can't see him. Oh, wait. Oh, there he is. What you doing?
Well, we're gonna close our show right here now, Bryce.
Okay.
And you know how we close it. Hey, have a great day, and this is a beauty. It's rained earlier, but it's a beauty. And remember, we love you. And I thought, I've always wanted to do a little mutton busting. So ready? Johnny, you ready to turn this baby loose?
You bet. Let her rip. Whoa, you're doing a good job. Hey, that's not a sheep. That's a hay. You're riding a bale of hay there, Goose. Well, hang on tight.
I got her, baby.
The credits are coming. Don't let it buck you up before we roll credits.
All right.